Be the fourth video in the morality, objective morality versus social contract series. I'd like to thank everybody who posted video responses to the last video, and suggest anybody, they're all good videos, and anybody who hasn't seen them should. Yeah, maybe I'll try to post a link to the videos. Because I'm going to post this video as a response to Goat's video. He just did a video responding to Veritas, who posted a video of a guy giving a speech or a presentation on the idea of objective morality. So let's just deal with the Veritas video first, and I would agree with the Goat that relying on intuition is just nonsense. To say that we have an innate morality built into us is, that has any credibility is just stupid. All social animals have some morality built into them. So any animal, bees have a morality built into them, an innate morality. They'll sacrifice themselves for the hive. They might not do it willfully, but they do it by programming. Higher animals, lots of four-legged creatures roaming around in social groups, will defend each other, care for each other, will act ethically, will protect each other's children, lions, even. But you'll see the flaws in their morality. There are these huge flaws, and there's huge flaws in our innate morality. Lions will kill the cubs of some competing lion, when he takes over a pride. An act that would be grotesquely immoral by our standards. But human beings have been capable of mass murder. They've been capable of war. They've been capable of all kinds of brutalities. Human beings kill their mates. Happens. So the idea of innate morality is just silly. We have this little glimmer of decency that's built into us because we are social animals. That's how we were evolved. And now that we are socialized into a huge civilization, we are capable of extending some of that innate empathy and those innate emotions to this broader tribe, this broader family. But there's no denying that that's the origin of any. It's just a consequence of natural selection. All right, so now getting to Goat's point, because where I disagree with him is in his semantics, in the way he chooses to define the word subjective and objective. And so in thinking about it, I came up with that. Look, we're really talking about a theory of meaning. You don't sit there and say you subjectively understand the theory of evolution or the process of natural selection. You don't say, I only subjectively understand that concept. There's parts to physics that aren't purely mathematical. They're based on observation. You don't say that I'm understanding the mechanism of this interaction purely in a subjective manner. No, you're objectively understanding it as a theory, as a logical model. And that's what we're trying to do. Objective morality is merely attempting to model the objective meaning, the objective reality of significance. And I have argued that we can sort of know some of the constituents of that objective morality. We know there are there are things in the world, like, well, let's go take fairness for example. If you were to design a fight, or you were to observe a fight, you could clearly understand an unfairness. If someone weighs 300 pounds and somebody weighs 58 pounds and they're going to have a boxing match, you could clearly understand that that would be unfair. That it would not be a contest that would produce anything that would be equatable to a result that one expects in a contest. The the winner would not be the better. The winner would really be the one with the advantage. And so in trying to, obviously we cannot see morality. It is not some physical force that exists out there. There's not a book out there somewhere where you read the book and the book tells you the answers. And just as we understand natural selection intellectually, we also understand it to have a physical implication. It is real. Although we can't see it, we can only see its impact. And morality has to be observed as an intellectual concept. It can't be seen any other way. It's the only way you can reveal it. Because you're not going to find some creator's diary where he's going to explain, well, this is why I created suffering, and this is why, blah, blah. It's not going to exist, and you should not do this, or you should not do that. That's the book man builds. That's the one he writes. But we know there's no divine book anywhere where we're going to find those answers. We have to construct them logically. We have to deduce them from the facts that exist, just as we deduced the theory of evolution from the facts that were around us. And so I'd argue that no, the morality is not a subjective. It certainly can be. I mean, people can certainly let their subjective, I like chocolate ice cream, therefore chocolate ice cream is superior to vanilla ice cream, therefore chocolate ice cream can kill vanilla ice cream. I mean, they can use that kind of logic. They can apply their subjective bigotries and prejudices to the question, but they're not searching for the objective reality then, the objective morality. And that's sort of why I asked the questions the way I did. Is because when we're ascertaining the value of something that impacts ourselves, we're likely to base it on our subjective personal prejudices, our desires, and our bigotries. But then when we're asked to answer the question on behalf of somebody else, then we engage a higher level of thinking, because we attempt to understand their interests. It's no longer about our interests, it's about what we understand their wishes and interests and desires and drives to be, how they would answer the question. And that's all we're attempting to do. When I say there's an objective morality, all we're attempting to do is shed ourselves of our personal prejudices and preferences and answer simple questions regarding fairness and regarding productivity, because that's what this is all about. It is about, that's what meaning is. Meaning is whether or not you're producing something, whether or not you're being efficient, whether or not the cost can be balanced by what is produced. And that's the bottom line. The bottom line is, it's a question of our efficiency as individuals, as a species, as a kind, however you want to look at it. It's an equation, it's an evaluation of productivity. Okay, so no point in beating the dead horse. I'll end it here. But anyway, yeah, it's really just about separation. Subjective and objective has to do with creating a perspective, how you attempt to view it intellectually. And it's not that hard to do. It is not that hard to do, to separate yourselves from your innate intuition. Because by Goat's theory, he's saying basically that intuition is morality. Because he's saying each individual is to obey their own intuition. But that to me is as corrupt as somebody saying that intuition is objectively or empirically accurate. Because it's not about intuition, it's about intelligence.